7484. That's 861-7484. You'll be glad you did. I know I am. Ocala Aviation. Call today, 861-7484.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala. Auto repair with personal care. We know what we're talking about. Matt Gibbs and the guys over at Sunrise Automotive will treat you right. We'll treat you right.
Treats me right. 5 minutes after 10 o'clock, Matt Gibbs is here from Sunrise Automotive and Crossroad Auto Sales. He is the owner of both of those businesses, and he's here on Mondays to answer your car questions. The number is 622-9622 if you want to call Matt on the air. Good morning, Matt.
Morning, Larry.
How are you?
I am refreshed.
Did I see you riding a motorbike on the line? No?
On land?
On land. On the video, on the internet. No?
No.
That wasn't you?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I was riding a jet ski on the lake.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Oh, you were? Okay. Was that on Facebook?
No. Well,
What did I see?
I don't know.
Maybe it was another Matt. Maybe I just thought it was you.
Maybe you thought it was me.
So, do you know we may come to a day when we won't need license plates? Our cars will be registered electronically, and that's all.
Yeah, I could see that.
The police need to know. It's just, I guess, I don't know how it would work, but
They'll have a chip, and we're gonna end up with a chip in us, a chip in our car,
chip and everything. Any dip? No dip, just chip. So there was a story this morning, kind of, I guess it could be here, but this is in Pittsburgh, that license plate recognition software would make the Pittsburgh parking permit stickers obsolete. You just park and it would know,
oh yeah, bill you.
We got your information. Yeah, we'll take the money.
Well, that's kind of like, when been to the Orlando International Airport an awful lot in the last several weeks.
Have you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So with our SunPass, you just go in, you go through the SunPass parking part, and it just.
I didn't know that. You mean your parking at the airport is now taken care of out of that?
Yeah, you don't have to get one of the little tickets and then pay.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it goes right through my SunPass.
I better load up my SunPass.
Yeah, that's what I realized. I had to set up an account to where if it gets to a certain
they just take it out?
They just automatically charge.
That's what I should do. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
What do you have? Do you have the sticker that has no lights on it? It's just a sticker on your windshield, or do you have...
No, I have the little suction cup because we like if we go to the auctions or we're down in Orlando picking up a car or something, then I can just move it from car to car.
Oh, okay. But does that one tell you when you're low?
No. The first one I had, it would beep every time you go through one, beep, and it'll tell you that it worked. That it worked.
Okay.
This one doesn't.
Well, mine does nothing. Mine's just a sticker.
Right. Mine doesn't do anything either. I just get an email.
Yeah. Or the light says you're low.
Right, low.
Well, how low? And you ask the girl, you go to, so the next toll booth, you say, hey, the last thing said I was low. Oh, you're fine.
Yeah.
What do you, I'm fine, but can you tell me how much I have? No, but you're low.
Well, that's why I have it set up that once it gets to a certain dollar amount, it automatically hits my credit card.
Do you think, maybe not you, because it sounds like you're down there a lot, but do you think that those of us who live here in Ocala are a little bit less sophisticated with the SunPass because we don't really have to use it a whole lot?
No, I think you'd be surprised how many people
go back and forth.
Yeah.
I don't go down there that
I
much.
usually don't. Very, very rare. I mean, just in the last couple of months because of Joey, because he's traveling all over the daggum world. It's just we're just going down there constantly.
Where's he going besides the United States?
Well, as of right now, he won the state championship in last month, and since the state championship, he's gone to Arizona and he actually got to compete against all the Olympians, and he did, and his goal was to make it to the finals. And he made it to the finals in all the events he participated in. Wow. But after that, then
we should have him in here one day and talk to him.
We should do that because he's a senior this year. He's graduating Friday.
Yeah.
And so he could.
Does he have any? No, this is not about cars, but does he have any thoughts about the accident that caused him to be paralyzed?
He can tell you all about it.
But it doesn't get in his way at all. in any aspect of his life.
No.
Wow.
No, and he'll
What
tell
you and your wife and your whole family went through. How many years ago was that now? Not that
That was
long.
2008, September 18th, 2008.
So 7 years. And I've known you 4, maybe?
Yeah.
Wow. Or more than that, because I knew you from the shopping show.
Yeah,
days.
yeah, that's right.
The
Yeah.
horrible shopping show. Thank God you didn't hate us because of that. So, wow. So that must have been about the time it happened, but you didn't share that with us at that time.
No, actually, another radio station here in town, when it happened, had us on there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and we talked about it. And Joey actually came in, and he was on the air with us and stuff.
Well, so do you gosh, I probably asked you this before, but does the synthetic oil sludge or no?
If you don't take care of it,
Okay.
everything will
Well,
sludge.
let me tell you why I'm asking you this, because you've been putting synthetic oil in my car now for a long time, and it seems to be fine. Okay. But somebody said to me, if you have sludge, don't put synthetic oil in there because it'll break it up and cause it to get into places it doesn't need to get into. What do you think about that statement? It doesn't seem to have happened.
No, the only way the sludge is going to break up is if you break up the sludge. Once it's there, it's there.
But isn't it okay to break it up?
I don't know. We're fixing to probably have a call from a oil.
Oh, that was just another radio guy, remember?
Yeah.
I found out.
But there's ways of cleaning it out that if it's real sludged up real bad, there's some things that we need to do to it.
Just take it apart and...
We take some of it apart.
Do you just literally scoop out the sludge?
I have a shop vac, and we'll scrape and suck it out with the vacuum, just trying to keep as much of it get it out of the motor instead of letting it go down into the oil pan.
Right.
So we have this little tool that suck it out as a vacuum. It's a shop vac with special attachments, and we suck it out, and then under severe cases, we'll actually make a diesel. We'll take some diesel fuel and some oil and make a mixture and actually run it through the engine, because diesel fuel has an oil additive already in it, and we don't drive it or anything. We just let it run and and that helps break up some of the carbon and some of the sludge, and then ultimately we're going to drop the oil pan and clean the oil pan, all the sludge that goes down into the oil pan.
So that flushing thing that they do, sometimes, do you do the flushing thing? Where you flush the engine?
No, I do flush it, but I flush it the way that I feel comfortable flushing.
Is the way you just described? That's how you do it with the diesel?
There are some chemicals out there that are, you can put this in with your oil, but it's so corrosive, and I just don't like using some of that stuff, and they make stuff to put in cooling systems. I don't like using that stuff. It's if you got to stop and think. You got you a mess, and you're putting in this. It's a degreaser,
right?
So I don't like putting any kind of a chemical that gets between your main bearing. Okay, the main bearings on your crankshaft,
right?
Between the bearing and the crankshaft itself, or your connecting rods and the crankshaft, or your cam bearings and the camshaft. I don't like presenting a chemical that's corrosive, that cleans oil, that takes away oil in certain parts of your engine. To me, it logically doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Right.
And there are ways. It's a little bit more time consuming. It takes a little bit more, you just good diligence on dealing with this situation.
Yeah.
But it's way better for the engine.
We'll take a little break and we'll be right back. Remember, if you have a question for Matt, the number is 622-9622-622-WOCA. And the one thing I wanted to ask you, because I kind of went to the break before I was ready to, but when you go to the water and you smell the fumes, I guess, the exhaust of a boat, it is really easy. I don't know anything about cars, but you could blindfold me and I would say that's exhaust from a boat. I know that smell. Why is that so different than a car's exhaust, I guess? So I'm trying to set you up for something after the break.
Okay.
Plus, you have a phone call coming in right now. So we'll do all of that when we come back. This is WOCA. Matt Gibbs is here, 622-9622. We'll be right back after this. Here's today's weather forecast from the source, WOCA. Showers and thunderstorms are likely today, mainly after 2 p.m. Otherwise, partly sunny skies with high temperatures near 91 degrees, wind from the south at 3 to 7 miles per hour. There's about a 60% chance for that rain. Tonight, scattered showers and thunderstorms mainly before 1 a.m., mostly cloudy with lows around 70 degrees and a light southwesterly wind with about a 40% chance of overnight rain. Tomorrow, showers and thunderstorms likely again, mostly again after 2 p.m. with about a 70% chance.
Ooh, a xylophone. Sounds dreamy.
Yeah, they don't make them like this anymore, Robin. I'm shipping it to the Musical Historical Society.
And you're packing it like that?
What, this won't work?
Why don't you take it to the Personal Service Center at the corner of Northeast 25th Avenue and 24th Street in Ocala? Just look for the yellow signs.
Great idea. That'll save me a lot of time.
The passing of time.
Personal Service Center makes sending packages easy.
And quick, call 789-6683.
For the Personal Service Center.
La Famiglia Pizzeria has moved into Ocala. Stop by today at 2504 Southeast 17th Street and see for yourself what everyone is talking about.
Awesome place. I never get pizza anywhere else.
Great New York style pizza and dishes.
Best pizza in Ocala.
One trip and you'll agree, La Famiglia Pizzeria is the best. La Famiglia Pizzeria. Stop by for a pizza that you'll love or call in and order yours for pickup. 352-245-2419. La Famiglia Pizzeria.
I think I heard your voice on that commercial.
I'm on that.
I think I heard your voice on there. Matt Gibbs is here, and my nephew's on the phone. My nephew, Shannon. Good morning, Shannon.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
How you doing,
I
sir?
got a couple questions about my 98 Escort.
Okay.
I've got a real bad idle shake. Other than that, it runs perfect.
Okay.
I'm getting over 30 miles to the gallon in this thing, but I can't stop this thing, the idle, from shaking. It's idling about 900 RPM, and it's by all measurements, by all codes, by all scans, everything is perfect. But when you're sitting there in park or neutral, or even drive, you've got like 10 things in the rearview mirror. You know, it's just shaking so bad. Everything's just everywhere. But as soon as it starts rolling, everything is fine. What's up?
It needs motor mounts.
Plain and simple.
Plain and simple. If you I tell you, and this is how way you can test it. It's still going to vibrate, but you're going to have to pay attention to the harmonics of the vibration.
Oh,
okay.
man.
And what you can do is get you like a floor jack and put a 2x4 or something, wood or something soft on the floor jack, and actually put it underneath the car while it's running, and just put a little bit of tension on the oil pan. You don't want to crush the oil pan or put a dent in it, but just put a little pressure on it and see if the vibration changes. I guarantee you it'll change.
All right.
And then that'll tell you right there.
4 of them, or just the lower end?
Well, on those, I like putting them. I like when I have motor mounts bad, I like putting them all on there. And there should be. There's probably 2 or 3 on the motor, and then maybe 2 on the transmission.
Yeah, I think there's 4. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but if you
anyway,
go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. The other question is, I recently had to change the plenum, and I had to pull the intake off on that thing.
Okay.
It was really nasty in there, oil and sludge and whatnot.
Yeah.
The head is fine. The exhaust is clean. Is there blowback into those intakes?
Yes, and that there's a chemical. It's called the part number is X66P. It's made by Delco. Okay. And what it is, it's a non-flammable but really high volatile carbon breaker. It breaks carbon down. Okay, and what you can do is you can go to, not all parts houses carry them. If you're in the Ocala area, you can go to the parts house. They're an AC Delco distributor. And you can buy a can of X66A, then the A stands for aerosol can. And what you can do is actually start the engine up take the throttle body, the hose off your throttle body, and spray it in there as you're revving up the engine. And that will clean all the intake runners. It'll get to the backs of the valves. It'll get to the back of the intake and the exhaust valve. And it really, really cleans them out really, really well. And it's non-flammable, so you don't have to worry about it backfiring, exploding, and all this stuff. This stuff is very, very volatile, though. If you use this product, make sure that you're wearing gloves when you use it. It does get absorbed into your bloodstream through your skin, and it will affect your liver.
Oh, wow.
So,
well, I'll make sure I'm wearing gloves. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thanks.
Oh, wow. Okay, thank you, Shannon. That's my nephew. I don't hear from him very often on the air.
Oh, does he live here?
Yep. Lives around here. Yeah, knows way more about cars than I ever will.
It sounds like it.
In fact, they all do. Everybody in my family knows more about cars than me. So. Yeah, you can't really have a good conversation about cars with me. I'll ask you dopey things like, SunPass.
That's all right. We have fun.
So what is it about the marine exhaust?
Well,
why is that so? Okay, why do I recognize that so easily?
I have a couple questions for you.
Yeah.
Okay. The exhaust that you're smelling out of are we talking about an outboard two-stroke motor?
Don't ask me. I don't know. But when I go to the water,
okay,
I can't smell every engine, but sometimes a boat will pass by and I'll say, oh, I recognize that. When I was a kid, I used to go down to the South Shore of Long Island.
Okay.
And there was a marina down there, and that's the smell I would always smell.
These were huge boats or like just regular boats?
Yeah.
Well, back when you were a kid, all the boat motors were pretty much two-stroke. So what you would be smelling is on a two-stroke engine, you have to mix your gas and your oil.
Okay.
So therefore, when your exhaust, there's oil burning in the exhaust.
Okay.
Or like a motorcycle, two-stroke motorcycle, they have a definite smell. Today's boats, a lot of today's boats, they've gone away from the two-stroke, and now they're all four-stroke stuff.
So they are more like a car?
Right. Right.
Okay.
And I have a feeling that's the difference you were seeing.
So I'm just associating with an old motor, but they're still out there, old engine, whatever.
Yeah, and there's still some two-strokers out there.
I smelled it yesterday at Silver Springs. We were playing, like Robin and I do, and I said, "Gosh, that's a smell that reminds me of my
your childhood."
Yeah, right.
That might have been. It maybe on a pond. Like we have a pontoon boat, and our pontoon boat.
I think it was a pontoon boat.
Yeah, we have a two-stroker on our pontoon boat. So it has that smell to it.
Right.
And then also, what can also affect the smell, like when we were racing motorcycles, we used VP gas, which is a synthetic gasoline, and it's oxygenated fuel. So when you put that racing fuel with the oil, with the synthetic oil, it has an absolute, you can smell that, it has a completely different exhaust smell.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It's
like diesel. Diesel has a different smell.
Yes, diesel has a different smell.
And you have a phone call. Good morning. You're on the air with Matt.
Good morning, Matt.
Morning.
A couple weeks ago, you were talking about a restored truck that you had at your dealership that was really expensive. Is that the orange vehicle I saw out in front there?
Yes.
Wow, that's a sweet ride.
Yes.
You know what would be really cool is if you had a couple different cars like that geezers like me could rent so we could relive our youth. Like for me, it would be an old Mustang, and just rent it on a Saturday and drive around and bring it back. That would be so cool.
That would be a great idea. Here would be the problem on my end. Insuring the thing. That would be my when we bought a half of a car collection out of a museum up in Georgia some time ago, and I had to get $1.5 million insurance policy to have those cars transported on a transport truck from Georgia to Ocala.
Oh yeah, there's always something, isn't there?
Yeah, always.
Oh well.
But that is a great idea.
Okay, well anyway, it's a great looking truck. I just wanted to tell you I saw it. Thanks.
Thank you.
Did you see the story about the blonde in the Corvette working as an Uber driver?
Huh.
Yeah, she's getting a lot of business too.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to ride in the Corvette.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that would be an idea.
That's what they say, but I'm thinking, well, hold on, look at the driver.
Well, you get a chauffeur and have somebody else drive you around in a expensive car.
Right. So you could never, with the way you're set up right now, you could never rent the cars that you have for sale.
No,
because of the insurance, right?
Well, I mean, I could, but I'd have to. Yes, I'd have to be able to insure the. There has to be some way of protecting that vehicle.
You wouldn't. That would be such a risk.
And in those vehicles, these guys put way more money in them than what they can get out of them. So, I mean, just the motor and the compressor and the alternator and the package on the front of that motor was $15,000. You can buy the whole truck for $30,000.
Wow.
Just the motor and the accessories bolted on the engine were $15,000.
So if people want to see the vehicle you're talking about, it's a truck, right?
Yeah.
If they want to see the truck,
they can just come by and see it.
Just go see it. Now we know it's orange, so we know which one it is.
And I had a guy come by the other day, and he's looking at it, and he said, I saw that truck. He said, and I thought it was like a painting. And you know how the further you are away from the painting, the better it looks, and the closer you get.
Right.
He said, I thought that truck was like that. And he said, but the closer I got to the truck, the better it looked. And he goes, I got $9,000. I said, well, I'll tell you what, for $9,000, I'll let you have the radiator cap and the battery, and you can take a picture with it.
Oh, no. Wow, $30,000. I wonder how long it's going to take to sell that thing.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter to you?
It doesn't matter. It's one of them things where if someone wants it, they get it, and if not, it just doesn't matter.
In a way, it's like how some people will put something in front of their shop just to draw attention to it, like a mannequin in a bikini or something.
Right.
So this is your mannequin in a bikini.
Yeah, I had a customer. One of our customers years ago called up and said, asked us to come over to their house because their car wouldn't start. And so me and my wife happened to be out at lunch at the time when he called. And I said, hey, we got to run by, his name was Harold Goforth. And we had to go by Harold Goforth's house. His car won't start. So we ran over there, and as we're sitting in the driveway, I'm looking inside his garage. And it's a 2-car garage, and he has one side all cleaned out where he parks his car, and then on the other side was just stacked with stuff. But I saw a headlight to a car. I'm like, there's a car underneath all that stuff.
Oh, wow.
And so he came out, and I said, Harold, is there a car in there? And he goes, yeah, it's a 1928 Model A.
Oh, no.
And it was all original. It had the original paint. It still had the hand crank in the front of it.
Wow.
I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. Well, he calls me up a couple of weeks later and says, you want that Model A? And I said, well, what do you want for it? And he says, if you come get that thing out of my garage, you can have it.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like, I'm on my way. And so we went over there, and I just parked. I would just push it. The last time it had a tag, and I still have the tag somewhere in my office, was in 1958. Was the last time it was registered.
Wow.
And he said it's just been sitting in there. He bought it brand new, and he gave it to his son, and his son's like, I don't want that thing. I don't want that old car.
Oh my goodness!
And so, but yeah, we'd keep it out front. People would ride by and stop and look at it. It was all original. It was all there, and we actually sold it to someone that completely restored it and brought it back to life.
Oh, okay.
Again.
I was wondering if you restored it, but you had somebody else do.
Yeah, I don't have time to do that.
Wow. So how much did you get for it? Was it a lot or
no?
Not really.
Even one I found out, even one completely restored like brand new is not worth a whole lot of money. They're worth a lot more money if you turn it into a hot rod. If you put in a conventional motor and transmission and stuff.
Isn't it strange? There was a story this morning about a lady who threw away an old original Apple computer.
Oh yeah, I heard about that on the way here.
Yeah, and they I guess they sold it for $200,000. Now they're looking for her so they can give her half the money.
Right, exactly. Yeah. I heard about that.
Can you imagine that? All right, where's your music? Here's your music. All right, Matt, what is your phone number?
You can contact me at 352-690-1993.
And where is Sunrise Automotive?
Sunrise Automotive Crossroad Auto Sales is located at 1800 Northwest 10th Street.
And you'll know it because it's got a big... Is it big?
It's not big. It's just
a nice.
There's a 1973 orange Chevrolet 1500 bad to the bone truck sitting out front.
$30,000 truck.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
This is WOCA Ocala. We'll be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Pat O'Neill. Americans' phone records can no longer be collected in bulk by the NSA. Senator Rand Paul leading the way and blocking a bill to renew the Patriot Act.
This is a debate over your right to be left alone.
Paul infuriated his fellow Republicans who walked out of the Senate chamber when he rose to speak. The Senate will now likely vote this week on the USA Freedom Act. That would renew several national security programs that expired at midnight.
Fox Radio's John Decker. South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham about to become the latest GOP presidential candidate.
Graham will become the 9th Republican candidate to join the race. And even though he says he can beat Hillary Clinton, it's not a sure thing. He'll win his own state's first in the South primary.
Fox Radio's Rachel Sutherland in Central South Carolina. Americans kept their wallets in their pockets last month. Consumer spending was flat, but income jumped 0.4%, and that could boost spending down the road.